That was quick. We're back live and cranking. So I'm going to just wait now for Davinia to get on. Hopefully Davinia will get on fairly soon. And I'm going to turn that off too, so there's no noise in the background. So team, tonight, hello Mel Glass, this will be a good one. Hello Steph, thanks for joining in, girl. Love your work. Love all those love hearts and loves and kisses and cuddles. So tonight we're gonna bring on someone pretty special, and it's a lady called Davinia Glendenning. Mal Kerr, how are you, champion? Still sweating? Let Ash know, Mel Glass, that I was on the run this Arby and going hard. Craig Bevendorf, Resilience done differently tonight. Davinia, thanks for joining us, love. Thanks for joining us. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to... Oh, hold on. Why can't I add you in, Davinia? That's bizarre. Hold on. I click on you. Requests to be in the broadcast. Hold on. Where are you? Sorry, team. This usually works pretty well and pretty easy. For some reason, I can't actually bring Davinia on. Why is that? I can bring everyone else on. Craig Bevendorf, you can come on and talk if you'd like to. Mal Kerr, Mel Glass, Julie Guinea can come on. All viewers to... Requests to be in your broadcast. Here we go, Davinia. Now, why can't I add you, Davinia? That is bizarre. I can add everyone else. I'm not sure why I can't add you. Hi, girl, back at you. Hold on, team. I did just Google this and work out how to do it. Pin this comment. Block Davinia. No, we don't want to do that. Delete comment. No, we don't want to do that either. Sorry, team. We might have to board. I wish I could help. No, it's all right, girl. It's all right. Tell you what we're going to do. Actually, I haven't got a clue what we're going to do, just quietly. Usually I have a backup strategy. Usually it's as easy as just clicking on your profile pic. Actually, Davinia, maybe you can comment, girl, if you could. Maybe I can ask you a few questions and you can put some... can you type quick, girl? Let's hope. And maybe you can put some stuff in the chat box, or I was going to say Facebook PM me, but you're on there. Are you getting this, Davinia? You'll try. Cool. So what I guess my first question, Davinia, would be is that I'm really sort of working with businesses and people at the moment in relation to resilience and what that sort of looks like. I'm wondering if you could, cognitively, can you give us sort of a couple of words around what is resilience, I guess, for people? What's it mean? What cognitively? So you're a psychologist, right? I wish I could get you on. Actually, I don't think this is going to work, Davinia. I think we need to call this. What I might do, team, I might finish this up and then delete this one, and I'll get Davinia on the line and I'll just see how we can get her on, if that's okay, because I can't work this out. We will be back, team. We will not let's retry. What's the white button with the video? Well, I don't know, but I just googled how to do this, and so we'll have to come back. Sorry, team, for everyone that's joined in. I'll add Davinia as a friend, and I can add her. Oh, can you add her, Roz? She has to press the green button at the bottom. Oh, thanks, Roz. You are the bomb. Yeah, Davinia, if you can do something from your end, that'll be on her screen. On your screen, girl. Because usually you just click on the person, pin this comment. You there, Davinia? Did you get that, love? I don't have a green button. Sorry, team, just a few little tech issues. We'll get this right. Can you see anything there, Davinia? Well, this sucks, doesn't it, girl? All best intentions. I'm going to just start playing with buttons and see what happens. You're the only one that I can't add, girl. I don't know why it is. I can add Roz, I can add Mel, I can add Steph, but I can't add you. I don't know what is going on with your technology. Sorry, team. We're trying. We will work this out, even if we've got to stop and start again. Steph Allison, approve. Request to be in your broadcast. Steph, do you want to come on, girl? Actually, that's probably not a bad idea. Bring Steph on as a camera. Oh, what a great idea. You there, Steph? Actually, this will be good. We'll have a great conversation around resilience. If you're happy to. Thanks, Steph. Sorry, trying to hear but can't find it. That's okay, Davinia. Steph's coming, hopefully. Adding. Team, you'll love this girl. This is second best. Sent your friend request. Stacey Miller. Stacey, you're about to see your beautiful sister in action. Melita wants to be in your video too. Happy to, Melita. I'm just going to grab Steph first. I think Steph's coming on. Steph, are you coming on, girl? I can't hear you. Can't be that hard, this technology shit. Excuse the language. She has to push the green button. Steph, I'm adding you, Steph. Do you want to come on? Or can you come on? Who else have we got? Who wants to come on? All right. I'll try Melita. Now, Melita, I don't know. So they'll receive an invite to join your broadcast, Melita. So you're going to get an invite. But now we got Steph back. This is interesting. Bring Steph Allison on camera. Steph, you might have to accept that girl. Adding. Have you got something coming up? Connect. Oh, here. Oh,
hello.
Nothing we can't do here with technology.
So down the bottom of the screen, there's your thumbs up, your love heart, and your laugh face, whatever. There's a little green button for that, and if Davina clicks on that, it should send you a request, and then she has to turn her phone sideways for it to activate.
Righto. Hey, Steph, before we get off, would you mind if you and I just had a quick chat and just talked about your story?
Yeah, for sure, mate.
Someone doesn't want to be live. I don't know who that was. So in the interest of resilience, which is what we're talking about tonight, I know we've just wasted 7 minutes, but let's, can I ask you a few questions? Like, you've had a pretty tough journey, and you know, I've heard your story a few times, but why don't you give us the condensed version? I guess from the car accident through to, I guess, being bedridden, with specifically, Steph, around how you had to be resilient through that, and you've sort of turned your life around now. What's that sort of meant? But I'm really interested in what lessons people can take away from your story in relation to keeping a positive mindset. And I know you didn't have that for a while.
Yeah, sure didn't. So yeah, just spending every day in bed and, you know, watching TV shows and, you know, that's, yeah, basically where I was at, but change that around. Yeah, sure. So, just changed my health, you know, every day. Started out walking to the letterbox and then every day adding, you know, a few more 100 meters onto that till I was up to about 3K.
Right.
Just had to change my, you know, my whole mind, you know, to...
Just taking a step back, Steph, just taking a step back, what people don't realise is that you're in a car accident and you were badly, badly injured and then you were bedridden for years, basically.
Yep, on and off for, you know, like, gosh, nearly 5 to 8 years. I was, spent months, weeks, days, in bed,
and so,
head on at 100 Ks.
That person's fault?
Yeah, so he lost control, but, all forgiven now.
All forgive. Oh, so tell me, has forgiveness helped you?
Absolutely, yeah. So I carried so much hate around for him for, you know, till last year actually, and yeah, just moving forward and had to, you know, give up that old identity and you know, the stories that you have around it, and you know, he was just taking his wife to hospital in labour actually. So you know. Yeah.
Was she okay?
Yeah, she had the baby at 2:30 the next morning, so it was all good. But yeah, just, you know, that You know, the stories that you play in your head, and, you know, why me, and, you know, he did this to me and all the rest of it. Well, you know, he was just going about his day as well, and as I was, and, you know, there was no winners, unfortunately. And you know, I'm lucky I lived and lived to tell the tale. And yeah.
But not only have you lived, you've sort of excelled, you know what I mean? Like there's living and there's sort
Yeah,
of living. Like you're living your dream now, you know, and you had some little people around you at the time that needed a bit of guidance and a bit of an example.
absolutely, absolutely. So just yeah, just pushed through and got to that point where I just knew that I didn't want to be in bed for the rest of my life. Didn't want to, you know, I've always been a bit of a goer, work hard, and just really wanted to, you know, live a life and have fun. And, you know, so that's where I'm at, having fun, living life.
You are an amazing, you just got a comment, you are an amazing lady, Steph, with a big love heart from someone. I can't actually see who that's from. So absolutely, you certainly are a beautiful woman. So like for me, Steph, resilience is about, it's not about denying the fact that something's happened. It's sort of nearly around more acceptance. It's about actually saying, well, you know what, it's okay that this has happened because I've got to get a learning from this. So I've got to actually deal with this and move on. And
Yeah.
and I know when I think about resilience, I think about the time where I was badly injured, lying in a hospital bed,
Yeah.
and getting all that skin torn off and getting a facelift from those burns. And I sort of think about the mental challenge that you've got at the time to actually get yourself to a point where you're ready to move on, where you can actually. And I think part of resilience is, and I'd love when we'll bring Davinia on soon, is about taking responsibility. At some time, you've actually got to go, well, you know what? It's not his fault. It's not her fault. It's not the universe's fault. The universe is actually
Absolutely.
going to support me when I start moving forward. And I
Absolutely.
think the moment that I started taking responsibility during that particular time in my life was the time that things started to change. And now I live by that motto that we're responsible for our actions and it's our choices that determine our destiny. Is that sort of
Yep.
something that you've talked about giving love? You've talked about, you know, just finding a breaking point and saying no more. Was responsibility a piece of this for you at some stage?
Absolutely. Like, you know, for the children, for, you know, for those around, um,
You've
you
got
know,
some beautiful little people.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And for myself, really, you know,
Mm.
you can lay in bed for the rest of your life and go, okay, well, I'll just hop on a disability pension and you know, Bob's your uncle, the money will come. But
Mm.
there's no life, there's no fun, there's no, you know, you can only do it for so long. And well, I could, you know, only do it for so long. And
So
yeah,
was
and
there
that
a
was a
turning point, Steph? Like let's say that you've had 8 years of going to bed, right? And you really haven't got up much. You've got little Lily and you've got Paige and, you know,
yeah,
and Connor, Cooper.
Cooper,
Cooper.
yep,
You got the three of
Cooper,
them sort of looking for some example. What was the point
yeah.
that changed your life where you said no more? When you said I've just actually got to do this?
So I think probably about 2014, I hit 95 kilos, and just felt like terrible, 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 and was bored shitless, and, you know, running out of TV series to watch, and and basically came with isogenics, and we hopped on that, and, you know, the empowerment that goes with all of that as well, you know. So yeah, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
definitely my turning point, was that business. And
Wow.
got a little puppy dog saying hello to me.
Oh, very cute. Very cute.
So yeah,
Mm.
definitely, yeah, yeah,
So
just changing the whole concept, like mind,
so the
body, and
parent,
spirit.
so you hit 95 kilos and you just decided that enough was enough. And some networkers obviously showed up in your life. And sometimes when when the student's ready, the teacher appears. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely, that's the way it goes.
Good on you, girl. And from 95 kilos, like when I see you now, you look like you're about 55 kilos. So you must have lost
I
1,000
wish.
kilos. You're looking
Wish
amazing. You're looking about 25 again, so good on you.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you, girl. Well done.
You
Thanks
too.
very
I
much
hope
for
you
coming.
get on. Hopefully that helps you. Yeah, the green button down the bottom.
Green button at the bottom. Steph
Yeah.
Allison, you're a champion. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight, girl. And I'll bring
Thank
Davinia
you.
on and we'll ask her about
Beauty.
how it psychologically is. Thanks, girl.
See you, buddy.
See you, love.
Do I have to do something?
Can I get rid of you? Can I take you off or you? Yeah, cool. All righty, let's bring Davinia on, eh? Let's bring the psychologist, the lady of the moment, the king of sting, the absolute guru in all things neuro. Davinia, are you able to get on, girl? Because I can't actually see you being able to get on. No? Looks like, let's do it. Call me. Let's do that. Call me. Davinia, have you got, yet? Are you ready? So come on, girl. I think you can you? Right, approve, let's go. And then Melita wants to come on too. So Melita, what we'll do is we are 16 minutes in. So with a few minutes to go tonight, after you've had a chat to Davinia, I'll certainly bring you on, girl, definitely. Are you on, Davinia? Are you coming, girl? And I've approved your request. Approve. Bring Davinia Glendenning on camera. Add. Tell you what, this technology's no, I'm good, I don't want to be on. Oh, okay. No, all right, cool. I'm guessing that's you, Melita. I'm guessing Davinia wants to be on. So I'll get rid of Melita and let's bring Davinia on. Approve, add. I was wanting to get in. Turn your phone sideways, Davinia. Sideways, girl, sideways. I'm trying to bring you on, love. Yeah, I don't know. There's much more I can do from my end. Approve, add. That's okay. That's okay, team. I'll start. I'm going to start giving you a bit more of my perspective. Wants to be in your video. Great. Go hard, girl. Go hard. I want you to be on too. Add. Oh, here we go. Woo! Woo! We'll get there eventually.
Aha!
Hey. How are
We
you, girl?
did it! Just bear with me
Technology.
while I put you in a tripod so I don't have to
Yep.
hold my hand.
Okay, you're right.
I did it!
Oh, great. Great work. Well done.
I've changed devices, I've changed rooms.
Good, good, good. All righty.
Ta-da!
Great
That was
stuff.
beautiful from Steph.
It was, wasn't it? Isn't she an amazing girl, as you know? You and I both know Steph. So,
Wonderful.
hey, girl, why don't I just hand over to you? Because I'm guessing everyone's here to see you, hear you speak tonight. And it's really about, isn't that beautiful? Can you see that comment? You're the Bond,
no.
Davinia, woohoo.
Oh, Corinne, thank you.
Isn't she? Oh, it's Corinne on too. Very nice.
Yeah.
Love Corinne. Now, girl, can you just, because you're the neuro guru, I call you.
Well, I'm not going to take the guru name, but I'm certainly going to say that that's my passion from morning till night. Live, breathe, walk.
Talk.
What else can I do with it? Talk it, that would be helpful.
Live it, baby, live it.
Yes, so here I am, but hoping you're going to guide me in some way, Anton, so I can, because otherwise I'm going to babble and I'm going to...
No, I've got you, love. I've got you back. Do us a favour if you could first, girl. Very, very quickly, like in probably a couple of sentences, who's Davinia Glendenning, just for everyone that doesn't know you? As if I would miss a pumped in resilience. Another comment.
That's beautiful. Hopefully you can see me all right too. I don't look very Good. So who am I? I am a psychologist, and my absolute passion is working with people to build a resilient brain. And I'll talk about resilient brains forever and a day, and I feel like sometimes I get a bit boring, but I just think it's so important from a neurological point of view when you know information about how people can actively grow a brain to become happier, healthier, smarter, more resilient. I just think it would be silly and almost unethical of me to keep this information to myself. And so rather than just doing a one-on-one sessions, which I still love to do, I really love doing workshops with people, running retreats. I still do one-on-one individual sessions, but I really work on them understanding how their brain works and how they play a vital role in developing positive neural pathways, which means developing a brain that allows you to tackle challenges and see opportunity and look for options in life, and most importantly, to be creative in life and to be curious. So that's
beautiful.
me.
Well said, girl. Well said. Now, in saying all that, like we've had some people on tonight, and Steph, and there's some people on here that you and I both know and love very much, and some of them would have been through some hardship, and you've been through some hardship, and I know I've had some. I love your book too, by the way. Just a little shout out, obviously.
Thank you.
Oh, here's the postcards. That's like the cover of Davinia's
that's my beautiful postcards that Anton created. Love it.
Oh, look. But that's you on the front there when you're a little girl, right? Dreams beyond the sea.
Yeah.
And we won't go into, I guess. Sorry.
The book.
Actually, why don't I offer the first person to comment, Davinia? I'll give. Oh, easy. Why don't the first person that comments below something like, I'd love that book. This is a book about a little girl who escaped bulimia and a whole range of other really tough stuff in life, and she was grown up on a little island in the ocean somewhere, and she changed the world and came over, and now she's on a little live with a mad mate over here in Australia, and she's living the dream, and she's getting pumped. That will be me. I'd love the book. Now I can't actually see who.
Beautiful.
I can't see who that is. Is that Corinne?
Yeah.
No way, Corinne. Shoot me through some high fives to Corinne. Good on you, Corinne. Love your work. I'll get you a copy down there as soon as I can. Perfect. Overnight. Just give me your email address.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll get it to her. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So Davinia, very quickly. In the 10 minutes or the 8 minutes that we've got left, unless people want to stay, very quickly. So there'll be people on here that have got some hardship in life. What's probably the 2 or 3 biggest things that they can do to build that resilient brain, build some neural pathways that help them just deal with the shit that's going on at the moment, that they just feel like it's just crueling them, or they can't see a way forward? What are the 3 big things bits of advice you might give?
I'm cringing because you're only giving me 3. So I'm just going, 3. Okay, let me just think. The 3. I have to say the absolute number 1, but the problem is I can't wrap this number 1 up very quickly. In fact, I don't think I could wrap it up in 8 minutes. But let me see if I can wrap it up in 1 minute, just as much as I can. But my absolute new passion, it's been a passion for a long time, but for me, the overarching most important thing that we could all be doing to become more resilient is to sleep 8 hours a night. And the research that I could tell you, and I could do a week's seminar and a workshop on sleep. I could go over and over and over and over why it's so important. And that's why it's hard to just drop that bomb, because a lot of people are going to go, I don't want to sleep for 8 hours a night, or they come up with excuses.
I do.
Or, yeah. Because do you know what's happened in our society? And look, here I'm going to go on a little bit of a preach, because we've really come to glorify sleep in our world. It glorified lack of sleep, I should say. You know, I think it's seen as a positive thing when you can gloat that I can survive on 6 hours, I can survive on 5 hours, and sleep is, you know, something that I can do on weekends, or to the worst, sleep is something that I can do when I'm dead. You know, people talk about sleep as it's a commodity that doesn't have any value to it. But what researchers, what neuroscientists are actually questioning, and I seriously could talk about this, is they actually are questioning now that the amount of repair our brain and our body get from sleep, it's now questioning, well, are we actually alive to for our body and our brain to experience what goes on during sleep, and we just have during the day to allow our brain to actually function and process. But during sleep is when our brain actually does most of its work. And so it's no longer... No, I'm serious that most people think that sleep is when our brain goes to sleep. Sleep is not when our brain goes to sleep. The majority of our functioning and our repairing and our restoring and our creating, everything happens at sleep time. And there's so many different varieties, so much difference in there's not just sleep, there's different varieties of sleep and different capacities of sleep and different depths of sleep, and then there's things that hinder sleep and there's things that affect sleep. I can talk about sleep forever. So in a nutshell, I'm going to tell everyone that sleep is the best medicine that you could possibly find. And 8 hours is, researchers shown time and time again, it has to be 8 hours, not 7.5, 8. So I don't know if I've empowered everyone enough to believe that.
I'm pumped to get to bed tonight.
I'm telling you, if you want to be pumped, Anton, you get 8 hours sleep.
Can I do a live on that, Davinia?
Yeah, let's. I'd love to do a live on that. Yeah.
Just on sleep.
It needs a good live, and it'll be a lot of me
That's
doing,
good.
and then we've got caffeine and alcohol to put on top of that, and
can we drink more or drink? No.
I reckon I can get you to guess that one. So
helps you
all
sleep.
of that. Oh,
right. So sleep's the big one, and I know it's been glorified not to.
So sleep is number one. Yes.
What's number two?
Number two. I sort of resist saying number two because a lot of people roll their eyes, and I was talking actually with some Queensland police officers the other day when I was teaching resilience to a group of people, and they were saying to me, could I come up with another word for this? But the word is vision, and everyone's going to go, oh, here we go again. But the reason it's so important is because if we don't have that direction and that motivation and know where we're going, then I just don't understand why you would get up out of bed in the morning. And I guess that's what Steph was just talking about. You know, she was 95 kilos, she was debilitated, she didn't feel like doing anything with her life. And then suddenly this opportunity, a business opportunity, but would have been more than that, the people that came with that opportunity, the vision that came with that opportunity, the opportunities and the options for life suddenly became motivating enough for her to make a change. So that's a beautiful lead in, really, and thanks for having Steph on, because I love her story. And as much as people tend to roll their eyes, I think, and go vision, goals, we've all heard it before, it's more complex than that, because it really, from a neurological point of view, vision allows our brain to actually access our thinking, our reasoning areas, our problem-solving areas, which is the areas that we really, really, really want to be activating all of the time, so that we're not going into that stressed overthinking brain. So vision allows us to create hope. And that's what life is about, right? If we don't have hope, what's the point in day-to-day activity?
And as you know, I'm a crazy reader, and I think one of my favourite books over time, Davinia, has been Man's Search for Meaning. And Man's Search for Meaning is...
That one.
Oh, Davinia, don't thank me now, love. Don't thank me now.
Thank you, Anton. On the reading list.
Anytime, love. Have you heard of Viktor E. Frankl?
I have, yes. And I've heard of the book, but I haven't read it.
It's just a book on vision, how you survive a concentration camp by looking forward and casting your mind into a place where you want to be, because your subconscious creates this whole reality for you, and your subconscious actually doesn't know the difference between real and imagined, really, does it?
That's exactly right. No, it doesn't at all. No.
You create this vision, and your subconscious just goes, wow, so that's what what we're going to go and do. Have we done that already yet? No, we haven't. Well, we better get that done. And so that's the power of vision. And I think that's what Viktor E. Frankl really says, that all of those survivors from Auschwitz in 1942, survivors of the Holocaust, really of racial cleansing, actually had a vision. People that survived went on to achieve something greater in life because they had this amazing vision. And I know, I love what you said then. People think it's a boring word. Holy crapola. Don't think it's a boring word. There's power in it, love, eh?
Absolutely. And I think it's about bringing the power into the everyday. So not having, there's lots of things I love to talk about vision. I go, as much as vision boards are beautiful, they can also be our undoing because they make us feel like there's this massive, lofty, beautiful, riches. And don't worry, I love a good Pinterest board. Don't you worry. I love a good Pinterest board, and I love the good picture of me sitting in first class looking out the window with my champagne. I love that. But the reality is, if I don't have steps before that, my brain starts to stress out and go, oh my God, how am I possibly going to get from here to there? So our brain needs to be able to feel like we can progress through the steps. Otherwise, our stress systems go up, and then we don't get to actually look for options and be creative and be curious. So the biggest thing with the vision is bring it into your everyday, bring it into your little tiny steps during the day, having a think about when you get up in the morning even, what's your vision for how you want your morning to go? What's your vision for how you want your day to end? How much sleep do you want to get today?
8 hours.
Yeah. And I just went to the gym this afternoon. Tuesday afternoons is my gym time. I don't love going to the gym at 4:30 on a Tuesday afternoon. I've been with the kids. I've had my work day. It's not my ultimate energy day, but I instantly put myself into that vision of what it is that I'm going to feel like on the other side of it. If I don't go into that brain, then I get stuck in that stress brain, and I don't actually want to proceed. And so that's where we end up making those decisions of, I don't want to keep going, and we make up those excuses, and then we get stuck in this trap of avoidance where, I've talked about the neurotransmitters and stuff, and I don't want to go into that tonight because that's a bit boring, but vision, sleep. So everyone should be envisioning 8 hours of sleep.
Now, we're going a bit over tonight, so I'm usually a stickler for time. Everyone seems to still be on from what I can gather. So let's keep cranking.
If they wanted to go, we could do part 2.
Well, why don't we get number three out before we do part 2? And
number 3. So it's hard to break this down to 3, but I'd have to say my third one would be composure. And the reason why I say that is because we can really get carried away with our day-to-day emotions, and we can really get carried away with all those tiny little things that happen to us throughout the day, and before we know it, we've used up all our beautiful brain steroids that allow our brain to grow and adapt and react. And how many times do we wake up in the morning and we the toast might get burnt, and the kettle not the kettle, we don't generally, coffee doesn't taste that great, the coffee line's too long, the traffic's too slow, and we get caught up in all these tiny little moments, and then by the time we get to work and something real does happen where it requires us to actually function and stay focused, our brain literally has used up its resources already. So it's really, its capacity to be able to stay composed is already diminished. So this is about learning to allow those little things to go and allowing those little things to not be labeled as positive and negative. So we put the only reason they're positive and negative is because we decide they are. So when I turn up to a coffee shop and the line's 5 people long, one person in that line will probably be saying, oh my God, this is too long, I'm not coming back. Someone else might be going, I hope they've got good coffee, otherwise I'm not coming back. And someone else might be going, this is cool, I'm just going to put some music on and my headphones in, and this is time for me to chill out. So there's 3 different perspectives there.
Absolutely.
And so what we want to do is we want to let go of labeling things as positive and negative, and we want to just experience that moment for what it is until we're required to actually react and act. So in high stakes situations, when we're at work and our boss is asking us to step in and do a project and it's got a time frame, etc., the reality is we will probably become stressed and respond in a way that that is in line with everyone else around us. But we want to be able to find distance and step back from that and look at it, and to be able to identify, well, how can I proceed in this situation? Do I just do I totally become entangled in the stress of it, or am I able to step back and actually look for what it is that I can do, what are my options, and who can help and support me? So composure is another big point.
And is that what composure is, Davinia? Is it calmness under fire? Is it really about actually saying, well, I've actually got some choices in the moment. I don't have to react, but I can actually proact by taking in what's doing and being proactive with my decision making and saying, well, you know what, I'll actually treat this person with love instead of just biting their head off, for example. Not that I do that much, but is that sort of what you're saying, that it's that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
knowing in the moment,
proactively. Yeah, but also I think a lot of people think composure is being positive all of the time or not experience negativity, and that's the big clue, is that as human beings we have to experience the entire range of emotions, and we have to learn how to manage those emotions appropriately, given the environment that we're in or the space that we're in. Sometimes we might not want to compose ourselves, but being able to identify that there's a time and a place, and I'm going to put limits on it. That I've had loss recently, and so that part of that is being able to identify that there's a time that grief needs to become involved in that, and my ability to compose myself around situations that to me seemed a bit pointless. I noticed that my ability to compose myself was teetering. I could hear things like, gosh, is this really that important? So being able to check back in and being able to identify, how you're feeling and given whatever emotion you're feeling, whether it's stress or sadness or frustration or embarrassment, what does that feel like for you, and what does it look like for you? And so when you notice it coming up next time, what are you going to do about it?
And I think what I always say too, Davinia, is that the emotions are fine, and it doesn't matter what the emotion is, because we're all going to, you can't have night without day, you can't have happiness without sadness, you can't have grief without joy, or joy without grief. The thing about it is, the challenge, Davinia, I believe, is when it shows up in your behaviour. Now, it's okay if it shows up in your behaviour if it adds value to the world, but if it shows up in your behaviour and it causes harm, we go back to the old Buddhist teachings of no harm, and like if someone, and we don't mean to sometimes violate people's rules, but with our behaviour, and we blame, well, I was just angry, or I was, I was running late, so I had to, I think if you ever have to make an excuse for your behaviour and you blame an emotion, I think you probably haven't demonstrated composure. Would that be a fair call?
Yeah, I think it comes back to me, taking responsibility for all of your emotions, that nothing or no one is responsible for making you feel a particular way. And until you identify that, the way that I feel is the way that I feel, and only I can adjust that, and rather than looking externally for someone to alter your behavior or your mood, then nothing will change. So it starts internally. Everything starts with self-awareness. It starts with checking in with, first and foremost, who am I? How do I respond? And one of the biggest clues, I think, is to the people that we love, the people that we unconditionally love, and we know will unconditionally love us in return. And when we look at, the way you respond to your spouse and your children and your family, and we often are a little bit less impatient and intolerant with them, but it's a good place to start to check in and go, well, why am I talking to them like that? And what is it that's driving that? What am I feeling? What am I thinking? How do I step away from this situation and think about, well, how could I do this differently? And number one, how can I take responsibility for that this is me and this is how I'm feeling? So often for some people, it's just voicing it. It's getting used to saying out loud, firstly, I'm sorry, I'm sorry to talk to you like that. And secondly, to be able to say out loud, I just feel stressed right now and I don't know what to do about it. I feel sad right now and I don't know what to do about it. Just even identifying how you feel, and it can be the best place to start, and just learning to feel it and actually communicate it to those around you.
Express your emotions, Davinia.
Expressing your emotions. And composure is all about starting with self-awareness. It's all about mapping your emotions. Because how can you learn to communicate with others and compose yourself around others if you don't even know what it is that ticks you off? Yeah, if you don't know what you react to or how you will react or how you will expect to react, then it's hard to catch it in the moment when it actually does happen. And all of this stuff, resilience and any change that you're wanting to pursue, whether it's self-awareness or anything, needs to be done when it's not required, if that makes sense. I've sort of unpacked that a bit weirdly, but if you're wanting to learn to compose yourself, don't wait until you're stuck in the traffic and you're running late for work. Practice composing yourself at home and identifying your emotions and what that feels like in the little scenarios, and working on changing it. And rather than, and this isn't about putting on a facade. It's not about saying, oh yeah, I feel great, I feel awesome. This is about being able to be vulnerable. Do you know, this comes back to vulnerability. Composure is about being vulnerable, being authentic, and being able to open your heart and your brain and everything that you are and say, you know what, this is who I am and I'm not that great today, but that's okay. And it doesn't mean we have to wallow in self-pity, but it just means that people can actually communicate with you for where you're at. And you can actually communicate with other people knowing what's simmering below the surface as well.
Davinia, you are the bomb. Thanks, girl.
You're too kind, Anton.
Thanks for coming
Thank you
on.
For having me. Thank you to everyone that's checked in. I haven't checked any comments, so I apologise. I haven't been watching as we've been going.
Mandy, totally agree. From Lance Dawson, Melita, or be neutral, Melita said. Love, love, love from someone there.
Be neutral, yes. Beautiful.
Being neutral's good. Tom Fronick, Nita Bruton, Ann Webster, Lance, Emily Reed, she's a pump junkie, which is nice. Thanks, Anton and Davinia. Great advice. More Davinia, so thank you, love. Robert Vander.
No, not at all. Thank you, Rob.
Davinia, do you remember Rob Vander Oort? Had some major family challenges since we were together.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. How could I forget Rob? His story was amazing.
And it's got even worse since then. So our love goes out to him actually at the moment.
Sending you some love, Rob. Absolutely.
Tracy Allen, I think Tracy's talking about sleep, getting 8 hours of sleep a night. Me too, girl.
Oh, yay. If that's all you take away from tonight, that's all you need. Just take that.
George Bailey's on. Oh, no. Manda Palmer's got a toddler that doesn't sleep. She said, 8 hours.
So, Manda, this is another whole story. I need to do a sleep video for mums because it's just another whole world. But to give you hope.
You've got 3 little people.
And I've been through the crazy times. 3 little people. We're on the other end of sleep deprivation, thank goodness. But still, I know how you're feeling, Manda.
There's an awesome Davinia. Thank you with some love hearts there.
Thank you, everyone.
Corinne wants the book. Ray Shadforth's watching. Paul Veach, William Visser, Corinne. Oh, Corinne's always, she's a pump junkie too, by the way. Luke Grice, Michael Hawker, Corinne, you're the bomb. Ros Waters, there she is. Jason Hartwell, Jason Robinson, Melita, Dan and Kylie Whitmore, Steph Allison. Turn your phone sideways. Good. Trying. Andrew Lawson.
Did I miss that?
No, we're good. We're good. That's tough, Steph. Oh, Tori Stevenson gave Steph a bit of a shout out. That's tough, Steph. You're a strong-minded woman. Steph is a strong-minded woman. Hamilton Darcy.
Absolutely.
Marty, you guys are a pair of legends. Do you remember Marty, Davinia?
Love Marty. He's my neighbour at the Central Coast. Thanks, Marty.
Oh, he is the man. The most locker bloke I've met. And Ros Waters.
And Paige just got on. Hey, Paige.
Oh, she's beautiful too. You're an amazing lady, Steph, from Ros Waters. Ros has had her fair share of challenges too, just so that you know, Davinia. So she'll be another lady that I'd get on and talk about this one night.
Yeah, absolutely. People's stories are so important.
What we might do, Davinia, is you and I might reschedule again, say for next Tuesday. Is that cool?
Sounds good. Is next Tuesday the 20th?
Yes.
I can't do next Tuesday, but I could do the Tuesday after.
Beauty. We might do that, eh? We'll reschedule for 2 weeks' time. Ros, that'd be great. And we might have what we might do, Davinia, is we might have a listen to Ros's story first, like we did with Steph's.
Beautiful.
And then I'll bring you on and we'll talk specifically around some of the stuff that Ros is that okay with you? Cool.
Me, yeah, absolutely. We'd love it. And I would just love to answer people's questions too.
Yeah,
I hate just babbling away and hoping that I hit the mark. So I'd rather people fire off questions to me and make sure it goes in the right direction.
No, I reckon, Davinia, you've nailed it. From what I can see there, everyone got heaps of value, and there's still quite a few people on, girls. So thanks very much for coming on.
Well, thank you, Anton. Love spending time with you. And thank you to everyone that tuned in. It was beautiful. And
we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time.
Beautiful.
See you, love. Be good.